John Knipe. I've been at Magpul for almost 12 years. Before that, I was in the Army. That was really where it kind of blew up. M16A2 was the first one, so I learned how to use real sights. And then later on in my career, went to Special Forces, went to SOTIC at the time, and shot an M24. And that's where, you know, probably the first exposure to like a precision stock. Then all the various guns after that, getting into the industry, being a gun nut. You know, we're hitting the 25th anniversary now, so I've seen about half of it. I'm the resident historian, just kind of turned out that way. I don't know, call it from the first bolt action hunting rifle through really the late 80s to some degree. I mean, it was wood stocks. And you know, they would bed them, they had different ways to accurize them. You can make a really accurate rifle with a wood stock. What we didn't have was a lot of adjustability. Like, you got a wood stock and either you bolted a longer butt pad on it, some janky spacers, you know, go in any used gun shop and look for old guns that have come in and you'll see it. Comb height, same thing. You know, you kind of got what you got, and a lot of them were optimized for barrel mounted iron sights. You really didn't have an option depending on the optic you mounted, especially if you put one with a big objective lens on it. Really no way to control that other than taping something on there. You could have a stock maker fit a cheek piece to it. And then we got into the chassis era. You just saw it explode. Now, if you go to Shields, Cabela's, Bass Pro, Sportsman's, you name it, any gun shop, and look at anybody's rifle, you know, they'll generally have one that's super easy to adapt to you. But for everybody that's got those older guns or starts out with a base model gun, entry-level gun, you know, you're probably still not going to get that capability out of the box. This is a 3D printed SGA that I got to be really gentle with because it's trying to return to the earth after, I don't know, 15, 16 years. Pretty cool mechanism, and you'll notice throughout our Hunter line, it shares a lot of parts, but this is where that idea came from. It's got an I-beam with spacers on it for length of pull adjustment, and then a snap-on cheek riser. We had 3 different heights. That way you could take your shotgun, and if you needed more comb height or you needed more length of pull, pull right up to your 590 or your 870 and give you a lot of opportunity to make the gun fit you that you didn't have before. And that's what brought us to the Hunter stock. Interface with the receiver was number 1, interface with the shooter was number 2. How can we avoid bedding, avoid a stock that's super flexy? And we came up with this. It's a cast A380 block. 4N interfaces here, you get a lot of rigidity. It goes into the tang of the grip, a lot of rigidity on the back. And then you've got this V channel that the receiver pulls down into, so you get even bedding all the way down. But just the ability to drop something in, improve the accuracy, improve the ergonomics, but do it at a price to the customer that for a couple $100 they could get adjustable comb height, adjustable length of pull, better sling mounting options, M-lock on the front, and then a bedding block that they could screw their gun down into, torque it down, go to the range and get like vastly better performance, rigidity, and that was the Hunter stock. This one is for a Ruger American. It's one of our most popular models. So we've got our spacer system, adjustable comb height via the cheek riser spacers, footman's loop on the left and right, integrated magazine well on this particular version. Bolts right up to your gun, takes an AR mag, throw it in your 223 Ranch rifle, and you got a super capable rifle for not too much money. All right, so what we've got here is an early prototype 3D printed Savage Axis Hunter Light. Cool thing about it, you'll notice this one is left-handed, which is something we're able to do with the way we're manufacturing these. All you have to do is pop this tray out, lefty, righty, doesn't matter, it'll be able to fit your gun. You'll notice it's a lot slimmer, it's a lot lighter. We also decided we didn't need a wide target forend, it's a lot more narrow. You've got M-lock slots all the way down the front for mounting bipods, for mounting ARCA rails, if that's something you want to use. The holes are pre-drilled, it'll have sling studs in there, you can see that on the production one. You're ready to go right out of the box. Built-in detachable bottom metal, so for most of the fitments it's going to be an AICS pattern mag, that's kind of the gold standard. And then we're going to have adjustable comb height and length of pull. It's a snap-on cheek piece, come in a few different heights. That way if you need to accommodate optics and mounts that are different heights, you'll have that ability right out of the gate, and you're able to use a spacer system to adjust length of pull. We've got a really sleek, really light stock that really competes with other products that are, call it $750 to $1,500. Everybody has or should have at least one 10-22. One of the most customizable guns out there. You can have so much fun with them. They're cheap to shoot. Basically turn your 10-22 into a turnkey precision rifle that you can sling 22 long rifle and just have an absolute blast with a gun that fits you and has all the mounting options you want. We've got the 1022 takedown. So you break it down and then you've got these. What do you do with them? Put them in a bag, let them rattle around. So we made this little guy where it snaps together in one piece. Where do I carry my mag? Well, if you've got a 10 rounder, you can leave one in there. And then you can store a couple of them in the stock or a couple 50 round boxes of ammo if you just want to backfill your mag. A couple options for a cheek riser based on if you've got an optic or not. You just snap this off and put a new one on it. So this thing's super handy. It's one of the coolest things we make. So when you go in there to your local gun shop or your big box store and you get that bone stock pencil barrel, super handy, easy to carry, easy to shoot 1022, and you just want some more features in the stock, maybe reduce some weight, we've got the Mo X22. And so what you've got is molded in sling loops for Uncle Mike's QDs. You've got 2 M-LOK slots on the bottom, which will let you mount a pick rail or a bipod mount or a sling mount if you decide you want to mount the sling further back. Really good profile on the fore end. You can get a whole hand on it. It's square, it won't slip around. It'll ride a bag or a support really well compared to a round fore end. Same pistol grip profile you get on the SGA or the other hunter stocks, more or less. It's got some serrations on the front and it's got our TSP texture, but it's knocked down a little bit, so it's not as aggressive. You still get a ton of grip, but it's not gonna tear your hand up, hurt your kids' hands, anything like that. No frills, but really for one of these guns with a factory pencil barrel, it's everything you need, it's nothing you don't. You're gonna see more fitments coming in the very near future. You're gonna see more fitments, you're gonna see them more often, you're gonna see them coming faster. For the 20th anniversary, we did like gold Magpuls. It was so surreal to me, they'd be like, what's this? Like, dude, well, that's a Magpul. Like, it blew our minds that people didn't even know what the Magpul was at our 20th anniversary because it's literally our logo, it's the name. We kind of took it for granted that people see us as the magazine company now, and we don't see ourselves as the magazine company. It's certainly something we've been super successful with. But, like, we're an innovation company. We're not an injection molding company. We're not a MEM company. We're not a casting company. We're not married to any of that stuff. We're a do it the best way possible for the customer company.